As I've already mentioned already, we're going to run this from the gun bunch formation. And again, the name of the play is called Clearout FL In. You can see on your screen as you look at it, that's the play that we're going to run. And it is out of the Redskins playbook. Keep that in mind. And as far as on the defensive side of things, we're going to go ahead and run this against two different coverages. We're going to start off with the nickel double A gap mid blitz, which is a cover zero defense. So let's go ahead and start things off with that. Now, with this particular play, I'm going to go ahead and run this and not really make any adjustments as far as hot routes. I'll talk about those a little bit later in the video breakdown. The only route I want to go ahead and focus in on, at least initially, is this route here. And this is this out and up route that this guy's running. It's a double move route that's very effective as far as getting open against this particular coverage. Now, the one thing I will point out with this, it works best against non-press coverage. So if the defender isn't in press coverage, it works better. Now, I'm not saying you can't run it against press coverage, but it works a little bit better against non-press coverage. So let's go ahead and run this, and we'll just see what happens, see if we get this double move and how well we get to work. There it is. And if you hit that catch and run button, a lot of times you can take that all the way in the house. And a lot of times that's what I like to do, is hit that X button, square button, depending on what controller and what you're running, the PlayStation or running the Xbox. But at any rate, that's it as far as the route. Now, I'm going to show something here in just a bit that's going to help that even make that even more effective as far as, in my opinion, getting him a little bit more open as far as making this work. And right there, you can see right there that we end up completing that for a big play. As you go back down here, this is what you're really looking for with this play. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. What you're looking for is for that double move right there. So when he breaks out to the outside, such as you're seeing, and then he breaks up, that's what you're looking for. If you can get that, where he gets that separation, and then you got a big time play coming on your end right there, where you're going to complete it for a big time play deep down the field. Now, let's go and look at one other route real quick, and then we'll go back in here, and then we'll talk about some hot route adjustments and some other things you can do. I'm going to go ahead and run this play again. The play's primary receiver actually happens to be this receiver right here, and that's going to be the flanker. You can run this, and a lot of times you might find here where you can throw it to the inside and complete it for a nice gain if you don't have anything deep down the field. So just keep that in mind. That's another option as far as with this play. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and take a look at some hot routes you can do to make this play even that much more effective. Here's a couple hot routes that I like to do with this particular play to make it that much more effective, and it gives me other options to throw to. Now, I've already pointed out these two routes are the main two routes that you want to look to throw to if you're not going to make any hot route adjustments. It would be these two routes here. However, if you want to make some hot route adjustments, which I recommend with this, then this is a couple of them that I would make. Here's one right off the bat. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tight end right here. Now, he runs that seam route as you look at it. So he goes up the field and he kind of goes towards the middle of the field. Now, his route actually will help take away, say they got a defender's playing cover zero. A lot of times, say this defender's playing cover zero, then this defender right here would actually go more towards the middle, drawing himself away from the receiver on the left is running that double move route. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go ahead and just hot route him on an out route, because with that, I still have this receiver, as you look at your screen, which is going to be the slot receiver. He's still running a seam route as you look at it, and his route actually kind of has him going out, kind of fading out a little bit towards the right. And that's going to help draw those safeties a little bit further over. If who's ever playing that deep middle, for example, this guy, it's going to help draw him more further over. So that's the reason you can do that with this route. So I'm going to go ahead and allow the tight end run the out route. And this is going to give me another option to throw to, just in case I don't have anything deep. I can always look to throw to him and maybe pick up some positive yardage. So that's another route that you can run as far as a hot route adjustments you can make as far as with this particular play. If you don't want to hot route the tight end to run an out route, something else you can consider doing is doing this, and that's going to be the slot receiver there, which you can have him as run the zig route. And that'll give you another nice option, or an out route if you so choose. I'm going to have him on the zig route because, again, you still got the tight end who's going to be running this route, who's going to be running that seam route. Even though he'll draw the safety in a little further, that's fine. You can still make this work. And then you'll also have this option then running the zig route, which is going to be this receiver right there, which is running that zig route. So that's another option that you can run with this and pick up some positive yardage. So those are two different routes that you can run that's going to help out with this particular play and make it that much more effective as far as attacking cover zero and cover one coverages. One other route that I haven't mentioned yet that you can hot route is going to be the running back. And now if you notice, the running back here is actually running a delayed route out towards the right. So he's running a delayed flat. So he's going to go ahead and check, and then he's going to go ahead and go out. Now, if we go back in the instant replay to the previous play that we just ran, you're going to see something with him that most of the time is going to happen. See how he goes ahead and chop blocks this defender right here as you look at your screen. He chop blocks him. Now, I like to say that's always going to happen. You're going to get this, but on occasion he may not block. And if you're willing to risk that, that's fine. But something else you could do if you wanted to is you could simply go ahead and leave the running back into pass block, such as what I'm showing on the screen. Now, the only downside of this is the defender that's covering him. In this case, let's go ahead and take a look at the defender that's covering him. It's going to be this guy right here. As you look at it, you'll notice he's now covering him. What he'll do is he'll actually go back, and once he sees that the running back is staying in the pass block, then what he'll actually do is he'll actually go into man coverage on this receiver as well. So you have these two guys, but by the time he reacts, it'll be too late. He won't have any effect as far as you getting that receiver on the outside open on that double out. Let's go ahead and run that, because I just want to show this to you. See how he goes? It doesn't matter, because he's not going to get over fast enough to make a play on that as far as with that. So just keep that in mind when you run this. Even if you leave the running back into pass block, you're more than likely going to still have an opportunity to make this throw deep down the field and still get a complete, big play down the field, such as what I'm showing you on your screen. So that's something else you can do with this particular play. If you want to leave the running back in, and go ahead and give yourself some extra pass protection just to make sure that he pass blocks. I've already shown you how the gun bunch clear out flanker in works against cover zero defense. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and show you how it works against cover one. And here's the cover one defense we're going to run this against. It's cover one hole out of the nickel double A gap. So you can see right on your screen that the safety right here is in fact playing the deep middle as you look at your screen right there. So let's go ahead and just run this, and then we'll just take a look at it, and we'll see how this works against this particular coverage. It's pretty much the same thing as far as what's going to happen here. You're going to get that double move on the outside, and you're going to get this as far as with that. And so that's pretty effective as far as against cover one as well. So you're going to get that same result. Now, if you notice one thing, if we go back in the instant replay as we run this, let's watch that safety and see what he does there. Let's go ahead and focus in on the safety right here. I kind of talked about him earlier. And you remember those routes that we got running that are both basically deep routes right there as you look at your screen right there? You can see as you look at it that safety does come over in these areas here. In this particular, he's going to go towards the tight end right here as you look at it. So because of that, then you still have this deep passing play that you can make deep down the field where you can complete it to this receiver right here on that double move. So that's what I wanted to show right there as you look at your screen right there. Now, let's go back in here and do one hot route adjustment. Let's just go ahead and just say that we go ahead and put the tight end. Actually, let's go ahead and put the slot receiver on the whip route there, and we'll run the play again. And we'll kind of get that same result, same thing. So that's what I was talking about earlier. So you can always hot route one of those receivers, rather it be the tight end or the slot receiver, and you can have some nice success still deep against this particular coverage, cover zero or cover one, assuming that they're not in press coverage. Now I want to take a look at what happens if your opponent calls press coverage. So let's go ahead and call press coverage. This is going to be against the cover one defense I just previously showed. But now you notice that on the outside, as you look at it here, that the defender there is in fact in press coverage as you look at it. So let's look what happens here against press coverage and see what kind of results that we get. Let's go ahead and put the slot receiver on a whip route right there as you look at it. Let's go ahead and run this and see what happens right there. See how that happens right there? You're still going to get this most of the time, but it takes a little bit longer for that to work. So if there's a blitz or something like that, you may not have as much time. Although it works, you still got to be a little careful about it. I just want to point that out to you guys, that it's going to take a little bit longer for him to get going, and it doesn't always, you may not always get that animation right there. As long as you get that, you're still good. And right there, we can go in for a score possibly, if not a big play deep down the field. So just watch that against press coverage, because it does take a little bit longer for him to get off the line of scrimmage. Now, one of the things you're going to want to make sure you have when you're running this, you want to make sure you have a fast receiver. And if you got an elite receiver who's got speed, such as this guy right here does, then that's something you got to consider putting out there. Almost always want to have your best receiver with a lot of speed. That way you can have a big play deep down the field. Even if they're in press coverage, you still have that opportunity. If for some reason that's taken away, then, you know, as I talked about earlier, as we go through this, let's go back in this replay real quick. Then look to these other options that you got. You know, you got a couple different options you can throw to here as you look at it. You can always work your way over here and make this throw here. You can work over here. Now, those are your options right there you can throw to is with this particular play, depending on what you want to do and depending on the hot routes that you make. The last thing I want to show for this video breakdown is a pro tip, and it's going to be called double pump. What this does is allows to get that double move route that's being ran by that outside receiver on the left to get him even more open. Now, I can't say it's always going to work, but it's another option, another tool that you can use on the offensive side of things to try to help get them more open. So let's go ahead and just do that, and we'll showcase it here. So right there, here's the fake, and then we just go up top, and a lot of times we'll get results like that where we can still get in and score. I'm not saying you have to use it. I can't tell you it's always going to work, but it seems to do most of the time, seems to be pretty effective and getting that receiver open. One of the things I will point out to you is when you do it, a lot of times I like to do it right when he breaks to the outside right there with that particular route. So again, once he breaks to the outside, that's when you want to go ahead and hit that double pump and then just go ahead and throw it up top and then throw it down there and complete for a big play deep down the field, such as what you're seeing on your screen there. As long as you get that, you're in good shape with this particular play for a big play. So guys, that's really it as far as with this video breakdown. I just want to kind of showcase this particular play. A lot of things are going on with it. It's definitely got some options as far as hitting that, hitting that double move route. And then you also got those other routes I just showed as far as the hot routes. You got that out route that, if you hot route the tight end, you got the zig. If you hot route the slot, and you also got the outside route as far as that in route that the flanker's running. So it's pretty effective as far as definitely attacking man coverage. And the only other thing I want to point out before I get out of here, guys, be safe. A lot going on in the world right now, and I know we're all concerned, but just be safe out there. So again, guys, thanks for watching this video breakdown. I hope it helps you guys out as far as in Madden 22 and attacking man coverage. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.